Good morning, Brooklyn. Can you hear me? I don't know which one is you. You're logged in twice. Can you turn on your camera and then I can try to eliminate the other one? Okay. So, can you hear me? Issues today? You had to log in twice? I'm afraid if I remove the other one, I'm afraid it'll disconnect you. So I'm not going to remove the other one. Because if I remove you, then you can't come back to class at all, right? So we don't want to experiment with that, right? So I'm just going to put the other one in the waiting room, unless there's a way you can figure out how to disconnect it on your end. It doesn't bother me, but just FYI. Because I put it in the waiting room. Yeah, that's okay. No sweat. Okay, so behind me, Brooklyn, hay pelotas y balones, right? There it is. So it went away just now. Yeah, gracias. So tenemos balones y pelotas, right? Balones, the ones with air, and pelotas, the ones with no air, right? So we want to put up here the correct form of jugar. Buenos días, Jo Marion. ¿Qué tal? So what form of jugar would fill in our sentence, you guys? And then maybe you could tell me what it means también. Jojo, you look so warm today. Muy bien. So what's the sentence mean? Jo. So present tense. You're right. You're right, Jo Marion. Just regular old present tense, not present progressive. Not I'm currently playing, but I play. Remember OASA, almost an on, just regular old conjugation. Marlesia, ¿cómo estás? Yay, Marlesia. Okay, so try again. How would we conjugate jugar to fill in the blank above me? And then what can we guess the sentence means? And we can just use regular present tense, not necessarily present progressive. Very good, Brooklyn. Anybody else? So you know what? You know what's funny about this is that it's not just I play blah blah blah, but remember our little a plus l, right? So that literally we're saying I play at the, and then whatever the sport is or whatever the activity is. So it's kind of a weird, we don't speak that way, right? So any guesses, Marlacia, how would we fill in the blank? Okay, right. So Jomarian, that's exactly right. If we are currently in the process of playing, that's our present progressive, right? Like if I'm actually doing it as I'm speaking. If I want to talk about in general, I play this sport, I would just use regular old present tense, the thing that we've always been using, right? And so it would be juego, right? Juego, if you guys want to check the chat. So regular old present tense. Yo juego al boliche, right? I play at bowling is literally what they're saying, right? And that's meaning that I bowl, like generally, that's what I do as part of my life. I'm not currently bowling. Now, if I was currently bowling as I'm speaking, then it would be yo estoy jugando, right? Then we would use the present progressive, right? That I'm currently bowling right now, like while I'm on the phone with you. Okay. So two different things. So regular old present tense is when we do something, generally speaking. The present progressive is the one that we use as we are actually doing the action. Okay. Okay. Preguntas, questions. Okay. Well, let's talk about what we're going to do today because I need y'all's attention for that. And let me get the right one here. Okay. So let's take a look here. Okay. Now, normally, you guys, I don't do this normally on a Wednesday, right? But remember that Friday, our progress reports are supposed to be all up and current. Okay. So we have, and I'll put all of this in the chat, but I really need you guys to listen. So normally I just kind of forge ahead and then I try to save us some time at the end of the class period to do our work. But we're going to need the full time today because they are due today. All of our work is due today unless otherwise noted. Okay. And Marlasia, you and I had that conversation. So if you guys can join me in Canvas real fast. Okay, can y'all join me in Canvas modules real quick? Because I want to make sure that we get off on the right page here. Okay, so meet me in Unit 6, right? Because that's the one that we need to finish before we jump into 7. Unit 6. Sorry. Okay. In Unit 6, you should be able to see, scroll down to the bottom, and you should be able to see the due dates, right? So the last 2 assignments that we did that are due now, today, right, which is the 4th, is the práctica on the verb jugar and nadar and all of those. And that's actually worth like 30 points, I think, if I remember correctly. The other thing that is due today is the reading, un día de deportes. So there was reading, there were like 6 or 8 questions. I forget what they were. And I know we had time on Monday to work on that reading. But I'm going to give you today to get it all finished up. And that way, if we work together, we need to stay in class. If we work together, then we can hopefully get it done. And I can help you with any questions or anything. Okay. In VHL, we had several assignments in VHL as well. And we need to make sure that we do them. That we're not doing the ones from before Christmas. So we need to check those dates, right? And we're talking about anything after Christmas. Okay. So if you see blanks in VHL, check the date and make sure that it's after Christmas. Okay, any questions about what I'm asking of you today? Okay, Jojo, I'm gonna send you a chat real fast. Okay, Joe, can you check the chat? Good morning, Arshad. Marlacia, can you check the chat? Arshad, can you hear me this morning? What we're trying to do is finish everything up from Unit 4 today, because our progress reports are due Friday, and we have these things that you see here: the practica, the reading, the guided notes, and then these 2 VHL. These were the last things that we did in Unit 4. And you can see these 2 have a due date of today, right? So some of us haven't done the Musica Latina visual translation, so we need to make sure we get that done as well, right, you guys? So essentially anything after Christmas break, we want to make sure that we have those done. All right, I'm gonna be quiet and let you read. If you have a question, I'll be in Go Guardian with you, and if you have a question, just holler at me, and that's what I'm here for. So please stay in class, and let's get as much done as we can today. Rashad, can you check the chat? Yep. Go ahead and put it back up there, Marlasia. Okay. So that is the present progressive. So that's where you need the form of S star and then the gerund, or what they call the present participle. So you can leave that blank because you probably still need to go back and do that lesson, right? Because I think it was 6.3, 6.2, or 6.3. So you probably need to go back and do that lesson. Unless you think you want to go to the resource library in Canvas and try to figure out the answer, because it's in there. See that visual guide right there where it says present progressive? Yeah. Present progressive with a star. Do you see that? Nope, that's the past tense. You need the present progressive with a star. There you go. So it's that very first red dot. So you need the correct form of a star. And if it's a regular AR verb, like hugar, you would get rid of the AR and you would add ANDO, right? So you have a form of a star, and then you have the what they call the gerund, or the participle, present participle. And if it's an ER verb, you add IENDO, same with an IR verb, but then you have some irregulars there. Right? So Hugar is an AR, right, Marlasia? Ends in AR. So you would get rid of the AR and you would add ANDO. And you would have the as they call it, the gerund, or the present participle. So that would be the answer on your other question. Okay. get rid of the AR, add ANDO to the stem. Okay. All right, give me a minute, Joe Marion. Okay, try that. Joe, click on that link, see where it takes you. Maybe open another tab. Is that them? It's not that one, it's probably the one before then. Let's see, that would be Esophagus. Joe, check the chat, please, Jojo. Okay. Yep. I can't see that one. Okay, there you go. Yep. Remember, you can just find the answer in the reading. Yep, you're good. And I put which paragraph to look in, right? Jojo, check your chat. Okay, we have about 4 minutes left. Guys, try and get finished up what you're working on. Jojo? Couple more, Jojo, go back. Keep going. Couple more. There you go. See the yellow box up at the top of the screen? Can you go back one more slide just for the fun of it? Let's see. I don't remember what was on slide 4. Yeah, there's a few more, but same thing. A few more examples. Yep. Good job, Brooklyn. Same word, except with one N. One N. Yep. And see how crazy it is that it's telling us that it's in Spanish, and so it's spelled wrong, like all the underlined red because it's Spanish, but that's the right answer. You know, technology needs to catch up with foreign language stuff. All right, you guys, that's our time. Does anybody have a question before we depart? I don't want to make you late. Okay. Also, sometime today, you guys, make sure you check your Canvas inbox. I know I sent some messages out. So you always want to check that. Okay. And reach out to me if you have a question. I'll be checking in and out all day today. Okay. All right. Adios. Have a great rest of your day. Good job.